Stop using toothpaste brands until you watch this video. Every morning, millions of families squeeze the same familiar tubes without a second thought. The labels promise protection, whitening, sensitivity relief, even natural safety. But what if the real story isn't on the front of the box? For older adults especially, toothpaste isn't just cosmetic, it directly affects receding gums, thinning enamel, and dry mouth that can accelerate decay. The wrong formula can quietly worsen problems you don't even realize are starting. Tonight, we're pulling back the curtain on what regulators have said, what companies don't advertise loudly, and what you deserve to know. I'm going to reveal 8 toothpaste brands that are harmful to you and your family's health. 1. Tom's of Maine. For decades, Tom's of Maine built its identity on simplicity, natural ingredients, ethical sourcing, a quieter, gentler alternative to chemical-heavy oral care. But in 2006, the brand was acquired by Colgate-Palmolive. That shift didn't erase its natural positioning, but it did raise questions among loyal customers who associated the brand with independence and grassroots transparency. The real controversy emerged around triclosan, an antibacterial ingredient once used in certain toothpaste formulations. In 2016, the FDA banned triclosan in over-the-counter hand soaps due to insufficient evidence of long-term safety and effectiveness. However, toothpaste was treated differently. In that category, triclosan had demonstrated clinical benefits in reducing gingivitis, and products like Colgate Total were allowed to continue using it for years under specific approvals. Here's the important part. Triclosan has since been removed from U.S. toothpaste formulations, including those associated with major brands. So this isn't a current exposure crisis. It's a lesson in regulatory nuance. The public often hears ingredient banned and assumes universal danger, but regulatory decisions are often category-specific and evidence-based. For older adults, the takeaway isn't fear, it's awareness. Ingredient lists evolve, ownership structures change, brand identity doesn't always reflect corporate reality. Transparency matters, especially when oral health becomes more medically significant later in life. And that brings us to a brand whose controversy wasn't about antibacterial agents, but about what it chose to leave out. 2. Hello products. Bright packaging, clean ingredient lists, fluoride-free options marketed as modern and mindful. Hello products quickly became a favorite among consumers seeking naturally friendly oral care. But fluoride-free toothpaste is where nuance becomes critical. Fluoride remains one of the most extensively studied and endorsed cavity-preventing agents in modern dentistry. Organizations like the American Dental Association and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention consistently affirm its role in strengthening enamel and reducing decay risk. For younger adults with low cavity risk and excellent diets, fluoride-free may not create immediate problems. But for older adults, especially those with receding gums or exposed root surfaces, the risk equation changes. Root surfaces are softer than enamel, they decay more easily, and saliva flow often decreases with age, reducing the mouth's natural protective mechanisms. That doesn't mean fluoride-free toothpaste is dangerous, it means risk varies by age and condition. There's another important correction. While some marketing narratives implied an immaculate safety record, Hello products did experience a voluntary recall in 2023 related to labeling issues and quality controls. It wasn't a contamination scandal, but it reminds us that no brand is immune to manufacturing or regulatory scrutiny. The lesson here isn't panic, it's precision. Seniors should consult dental professionals before abandoning fluoride, especially if they have dry mouth, gum recession, or a history of cavities. And now let's move to a brand that rarely markets itself as natural because it doesn't need to. Number 3. Crest Pro Health. When you see Crest Pro Health, you think clinical strength, backed by science, built for protection. And in many ways, that's accurate. The brand uses stannous fluoride, a well-documented compound that helps prevent cavities and reduce gingivitis. It's been studied extensively and approved for over-the-counter use. But some users have reported temporary surface staining or changes in taste. This isn't enamel damage, it's typically cosmetic staining associated with stannous fluoride interacting with certain compounds in the mouth. Here's what matters. Staining reports are not evidence of structural harm. Clinical studies show stannous fluoride remains safe and effective when used as directed. However, seniors with thinner enamel may notice cosmetic changes more quickly than younger users. This is where expectation management becomes crucial. A toothpaste can be clinically protective and still produce minor side effects for some individuals. Unlike viral claims suggesting severe erosion or permanent harm, there's no credible regulatory evidence that Crest Pro Health causes widespread enamel destruction. But understanding how ingredients behave in aging mouths helps consumers make informed decisions. Because not every risk is about what's added. Sometimes it's about what's hidden or what's changed quietly over time. 4. Sensodyne. For people living with tooth sensitivity, Sensodyne often feels like a lifeline. Its formulations are designed to block nerve pathways and reduce pain from hot or cold foods. The active ingredients, such as potassium nitrate or stannous fluoride, are widely accepted in dentistry. And for many seniors with exposed dentin, sensitivity toothpaste can significantly improve quality of life. But sensitivity relief doesn't replace comprehensive care. It doesn't rebuild enamel. It doesn't reverse gum recession. And in some cases, users interpret symptom reduction as problem resolution. There's also the broader context. Sensodyne is owned by Haleon, a global consumer healthcare company. Corporate ownership doesn't invalidate product effectiveness, but it does remind us that marketing budgets often shape perception as much as clinical data does. The most responsible way to view sensitivity toothpaste is as a targeted tool, not a miracle cure. For seniors managing dry mouth, root exposure, or medication-related oral changes, professional guidance remains essential. Because the final brand in this story demonstrates how easily perception can outpace evidence. 5. Colgate Total. Few names in oral care are as globally recognized as Colgate Total. For years, it stood at the center of the triclosan debate, approved for gingivitis reduction, questioned in public discourse, defended by regulatory review. When the FDA reevaluated triclosan in consumer products, toothpaste was handled separately from soap because of documented therapeutic benefits. Eventually, formulations evolved, and triclosan was phased out in U.S. toothpaste, but the controversy left a lasting imprint. The real issue wasn't hidden poison, it was public confusion. Scientific risk assessment rarely fits into viral headlines. Regulatory agencies weigh exposure levels, benefit-risk ratios, and longitudinal data. Consumers often hear simplified conclusions without context. Today's Colgate Total formulas no longer contain triclosan in the United States, yet the episode remains a case study in how quickly trust can fracture when ingredient transparency becomes a public flashpoint. For older adults, the broader lesson is this: dentistry is preventative medicine, and toothpaste is part of that system, but not the whole of it. The truth about toothpaste and trust. We began this story with a simple idea. Toothpaste is about trust, not advertising, not flavor, not even foam. Trust. Because every morning and every night, you place your oral health, and by extension your overall health, in the hands of a product you rarely question. What this investigation reveals isn't a dramatic lineup of villains hiding in plain sight. It's something more layered and more important. Corporate acquisitions quietly reshape brand identities. Regulatory decisions are often careful, technical, and misunderstood. Marketing campaigns simplify what science carefully studies over decades. And somewhere between those forces
the everyday consumer is left trying to make the right choice. So instead of asking which toothpaste is dangerous, ask the smarter question: which one truly fits your biology today? The right choice may include fluoride, sensitivity protection, or even professional guidance tailored to your age and health. Don't let fear, nostalgia, or clever branding decide for you. Your smile deserves informed decisions, not assumptions. If this helped you see things differently, like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more honest health investigations.